I stopped surviving and I started thriving when I changed these 7 things in my life. And trust me, I wish I had done it sooner. Hello and welcome in. My name is Kat and I am the founder of Thrive with Grace. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you're new here and you love what you're hearing, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Listen, between being a single mom, working full time, and owning my own business, I'll be the first to tell you that I was running on fumes. Oh my gosh, but I am so grateful that I adjusted my life and started putting into place some mental habits that really helped me keep in tune with myself, and they keep me grounded to this day. The first thing I did is I stopped glorifying being busy. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being productive. And I had to remind myself there were days where I'd look at my planner and I'd see that things were checked off, but how much did I really get accomplished? What did I really get done in this busy day that I had? Do you ever have moments where you feel like you're doing so much, but then it feels like so little was done? That's because you're jumping from place to place. You're not focused on the task at hand. And I want to encourage you to change your mental habit right there and realize that being busy doesn't always mean you're making progress. The next thing I did is I learned how to say no without over-explaining myself. How often do we begin our days without having any personal boundaries? I know that I'm guilty of that. When I would say no, the individual that I was speaking to, it was like they did not receive what I was saying, then they refused to accept it. But sweetheart, no is actually a complete sentence. And once I realized that, the power behind my no, I realized that people actually respected me more because I didn't over-explain myself. There's no need for an extra explanation. There's no need for that. Your no should be firm and solid, just like your yes. Let your yeses be yeses and let your nos be nos. And I love this one. I replaced guilt with grace. I struggled on a daily basis dealing with mom guilt or the single parent tax. I made a YouTube video about that if you want to tune into it. It is woo. But listen, so I learned that I don't need to feel guilty for putting myself first in certain situations. It's okay for me to actually make myself a priority. I started stop being so hard on myself on a daily basis because I would be really negative to myself. I would be really hard and say harsh things to myself, but no more. Now I give myself grace and I give myself claps. I give myself pats on the back because listen, mama, you are killing it. You are wonderful and beautifully made, and you are being the best mom that you know how. Your kids are fed, they've got a roof over their head, they're in extracurricular activities. You're doing everything that you know how to do as a mom. So time out for taking time for yourself and feeling bad about it. You don't have to do that any longer. You now can feel lovely and free and just fantastic. The next thing I did, I stopped multitasking and I started monotasking. Do we know what that is? So stop taking on too much. You can only look to focus on one thing at a time. I suggest time management. That is what allowed me to be able to get multiple things done. You can't do everything at once. Listen, honey child, it is so chaotic. Don't do that. Don't make the mistakes that I made because it's going to overwhelm you and surround you, and you're not going to be good to anybody. You're not going to get anything done. You're going to feel anxious and you may shut down. That's what used to happen to me. So listen, I now time manage. If there's going to be time with my friends, time manage. I schedule it in. I know it sounds like you're adulting, but sweetheart, you're a mom or a dad. So yes, you are adulting at this point because you're raising a little one. You're trying to show them that they should also multitask and time block. So listen, time block time with your friends, time block time at work. If you're a business owner, time block leads and following up on emails and everything. I promise you it'll make a world of difference in your life. This one right here is so dear to my heart. I started talking to myself like someone that I loved. Do you notice that you're harsher with yourself than you are with a loved one? Why is that? Why do we speak to ourselves with such disdain, but a loved one we can continue to encourage and pour into and tell them how wonderful they are? As a matter of fact, I want you to do that this week. I want you to start speaking to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, oh my gosh, girlfriend, you're so beautiful. Oh my goodness, sir, you are so handsome. You killed it last week at that job interview. Oh my gosh, you killed it on that project that you handled. You need to start speaking to yourself and pouring into yourself because you need to be the biggest cheerleader for who you. No one else is going to love you the way that you do. So it's important because listen, how can you expect someone to love you if you don't know how to love yourself? The next thing I did was I gave myself permission to rest. I believe in self-care. Self-care can be many things. It can be journaling. I believe in that. I journal every evening. Self-care can be reading a book, taking walks, going on hikes, facial treatments, getting your hair done, your nails, retail therapy. Self-care to me is whatever makes you happy and makes you feel like your best self. So I want you to give yourself permission to rest without having to feel like you had to earn it. If you want to take a mental day, take a mental day. Because sweetheart, again, nobody is going to take care of you better than you do. My last tip, I did it when I was afraid. I didn't wait until I felt ready. I think that's just something that we think of. My father, I had told him that I was afraid to go door knocking when I was a full-time real estate agent. And he said, you know what? You need to conquer that fear and you need to go door knock. So the safest place that I felt comfortable with door knocking at all was my personal neighborhood. And you all, I felt so courageous. I was shaking all over. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I started door knocking, and I did it when I was afraid. I got some great feedback. I was received. So I want to encourage you to do it while you're afraid. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one said you needed to be perfect. That's a myth, and we don't receive that. You need to know that progress is the key. You don't have to be perfect when you first start out. So do it while you're afraid and let the progress and the journey mold you and shape you. Because listen, the way you thought it was going to happen, maybe you have to pivot and do it another way. That happens more often than we want to believe. Because why? God's plan is not always your plan. And you know how they sometimes say, well, God is funny. Listen, because you may have a plan and it may not be his plan. So I want you to focus and dial in and realize that you don't have to be perfect on this journey. All that matters is that you do it. Now, in closing, I know I said these are mental habits, but listen, you all, these are more lifelines. If you apply these steps into your life, I promise there will be a world of change. You will feel so strong and confident because I'm a witness. I'm sitting here right in front of you right now, and I proclaim it boldly that you can do whatever you set your mind to, because Almighty is right there with you. You are not alone. You have a comforter, and he loves you, and he cares for you, and he would never forsake you. I want you to be encouraged. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one. I hope it was a blessing to you, and I hope you walk away more fulfilled. Tune in to the next video. See you soon.